to Mobility Matters. I am your host, Javier Betancourt, Executive Director of the Citizens Independent Transportation Trust, or CITT for short. We're the agency of Miami-Dade County charged with overseeing your half-penny sales tax for transportation. And the one organization that we work with the most on a daily, if not hourly basis, is the county's Department of Transportation and Public Works. We'll call them DTPW for short, which oversees both transit and public works. And we are honored today to have a guest from DTPW, Sean Adgerson. Sean is the Chief Operating Officer, I almost gave you a promotion, COO of DTPW. Sean, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Appreciate the invite.
No, of course. So let's start with DTPW, right? I think most people know about it, but for those who may not know about the department, tell us about the organization, what it does.
Awesome. So DTPW, as you said, is the county's transportation and public works entity. On the transportation side, obviously we're responsible for Metro Rail operations, Metro Mover, and our local bus system. We have our paratransit, STS, and on the public works side, the vast roadways, all of the infrastructure with canals, our causeway. It's a vast operations here at DTPW.
Right, enormous departments. It used to actually be two different departments that were brought together because mobility really, at the end of the day, kind of crosses both sides of that.
Right. So I think 4,000 employees strong. Wow. Transit or transportation side has over half, with about 2,000 or so in the transit operations side of the house.
And looking to hire more, right?
Yeah, definitely looking to hire more.
And we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
So let's learn a little bit more about you and your role. So Chief Operating Officer, what does that entail?
So as the Chief of Operations on the transit side, I'm responsible for the day-to-day operations of the transportation system on the transit. That includes our 25-mile Metro Rail and all of the stations and operations within it, Metro Mover, as well as our local bus system. And then I also have some operation support functions, some engineering, as well as some of our parts and sort of goods and service acquisitions to keep the operations going. Again, we have the most employees with our partners with TWU and some of our other
TWU?
Transit Workers Union. They are our biggest partners as relates to the labor side. So that's our bus operators, our train operators, all of our maintainers, and a variety of other support functions to sort of keep the operations going. So that challenge of moving people here is one I don't take lightly. Prior to joining DTPW, I'm in my 9th month, so I've been here since August. I think I make 10 months in a week. Prior to that, I was in Baltimore. I was the Chief Operating Officer there. I spent 8 years in Baltimore as a deputy COO, and then the last 4 as the COO there. So in Baltimore is a larger modal system. It was the largest one, almost the largest in the country. I had 3 railroads and more comprehensive bus network that include commuter bus, paratransit, as well as a local bus system. So that experience, sort of helped me transition here to Miami.
And are you a native Marylander? I don't know what the word is.
Yes, you got it right. I'm a native Marylander, born and raised in Baltimore. Okay. Although I spent my last 20 years living in a town sort of northwest of DC, so it's considered a suburb of Washington, DC. It's a town called Frederick, is where Frederick Scott Key, who wrote the Star Spangled Banner, that's where he was from. So lived in that town and sort of commuted back and forth to Baltimore. But yeah, born and raised there, went to school there.
Terrapin.
Through and through. Yeah, I'm a Marylander through and through. But nonetheless, when opportunities comes, you look for ways to want to enhance your career and use your talents to help. And so the opportunity here, I saw that Miami's right on par to really explode from a transportation perspective with the SMART program, There's a lot of things that are going on here that are really going to move us to up on that rank in terms of ridership and multimodal service and all those good things.
What are your first impressions of Miami? Almost 10 months in.
Oh, almost 10 months in. I think in transit in general, our problems are the same. They may have a different flavor, right? So the flavor here is a little spicier, a little Latin, but it's the same issues as it relates to transit. In general, the pandemic really impacted ridership and how people were interacting with the system. So we have a challenge to get that ship righted and move in the right direction there. And we've seen some healthy growth as relates to bus service, but we still have some opportunity on the rail side. The pandemic changed how people see transit as a place to work, right? And I think that's a huge challenge for us and has been a challenge, one as an industry and more importantly here. I think although we've made some strides in reducing the number of vacancies in our bus operator ranks, that's still an opportunity for us to do some work there. So we continue to do a lot of things to try to encourage people, show the benefits of working in transit and why you should have a career here. And I think, the third thing is, the infrastructure in general in transit. And I think you saw that in the passing of the infrastructure bill. There's a lot of investment that needs to happen in order to not only expand the systems and make it more accessible to people, but also to improve what we already have, right? To bring the transit systems up to a state of good repair. So the money we've already put down and made investments in, that we maintain it and people feel it and see it as a good thing. So those are the three main things I've seen, right, that are challenges here, and welcome them and trying to put a lot of stuff in place to try to deal with them. Because I think, one of our core missions is operational excellence, right? Mm-hmm. And the only way you're going to get there is through consistent performance. Like, you got to consistently do the same thing over and over and try to make it a habit. And so that's what
people want predictability.
Yeah, right. They want to know, hey, every day, I can count on the train being there or the bus being there, and so, but we have to do fundamentals right. If I were equating it to football, right, you have to learn how to block and tackle before you can run the trick play. And so I think, I've been spending these last 9 months doing an evaluation of, can we really block and tackle? Like, how well are we at just training people to do their jobs, the basic training? How well are we providing them the tools so they can do their job effectively? And how good about coaches, like the leaders, the people who lead them every day? How are they effective? Do they understand that although we operate trains and buses and we repair trains and buses or maintain them, our job is really about people. And knowing that, outside of Metro Mover, which does operate autonomously, it still has people underneath of it that are maintaining that system and operating and ensuring that it's safe. We need people. And so our leaders have to understand their role is to make people better. And so that's what I've been trying to focus them on, is people. Let's take care of our people. Let's take care of the frontline employee. Make this a great place for people to want to be a part of. Right. And guess what? Once we do blocking and tackling good, then we can really start expanding and doing the stuff that really makes people really want to be a part of the system.
So at the risk of mixing metaphors, you're channeling your inner Spolstra, right?
Right,
Not
right.
the heater in the playoffs.
Right.
I think people are realizing that coaching really is important, right? It's not just about the talent and the players, but coaching them well.
Right.
And by the way, you're a good luck charm. Ever since you arrived in Miami, we've been to the Final Four twice, right?
Right.
Both UM and I believe it was FAU.
Right.
And now we have both the Panthers and the Heat in the finals. So thank you.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Please don't go anywhere.
I would take
now
it.
we need to get the Dolphins and the Marlins.
Yeah. I've instantly become a fan of all of those teams.
Great. The Ravens, that's all yesterday.
I don't know if I'll get my son might not like me getting on the Ravens, but yeah,
we don't play them too often, so that's fine. So tell me, what you talked about customer experience. What are some of kind of the new initiatives, some of the exciting things that you're working towards? How are you incorporating technology and into what we do to make things better?
Yeah, I think it's a part of it is really truly understanding the customer experience. So I'll start with me. The first thing I did when I got here was like I started just writing the system, and
It's amazing how many people don't do that, by the way.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you for doing that.
They would say, oh, this route is this route is that. Okay, I'm gonna get on it. And
Yeah.
so I just would block out time in my schedule and just go ride and sit there and go through the experience like the rider would, right? I didn't tell anybody I was going. I try to dress down a little bit so employees wouldn't try to gather who I was, and just sit and take those notes, make those comments, and then use that to go back to our leadership team and say, "Hey guys, what about this?" Right? And using that as our experience. The next part is it's not just me doing it. The team that works for me, they have to get out there and do it and say, so we're gonna have our meetings on the bus. So let's go. We're gonna go get on the train. We're gonna do it in a station. We're gonna do this stuff so you understand why, right? And in my learning as a leader, I got taught. My career started a long time ago, but I started in a restaurant business, and in a restaurant business, obviously you need customers to sustain yourself. And so I learned a long time ago about the importance of the customer, and that everything you do should be about that customer. And yet you have an internal customer, employees, and you have external customers, the ones that are paying the bills. So that foundation in my leadership has sort of followed me through my career. So I've always taken this approach of customers why, why. Like we do this for a reason, and so I'm trying to instill that in my staff is that the reason why a train leaves a depot or bus leaves a garage is because somebody needs to go somewhere. They need to do something, right? They need to get
and they get there on time.
Right? Yeah, they need to get to whatever life is taking them towards, right? And if we don't recognize that the bottom line basic that they are counting on us to take them to wherever they need to go, to the doctors or school or wherever, right? We don't connect ourselves to that, we're not gonna do a good job of it. And there's so much going on that we can get lost in that, to me, which is the fundamental mission of why we're here, right? It's to move people safely from A to B, and get them there reliably and on time and all those good things. So if we don't connect the people who do it every day to that mission, I think they lose sight of it. And so that's one of the things I'm trying to focus on is getting the team to understand, hey, this is why we do it. So let's go experience it. Let's go be a part of it. Let's go see what they see. Let's go wait on the bus stop when it's hot and humid here and raining out of the blue, all that stuff. So it goes and changes our direction. To me, it should change our urgency around how we do what we do in terms of fixing problems, resolving problems. It should raise our bar in terms of what we set as a standard for what is truly a bus that's ready to go out. What's truly the definition of a train that goes out, right? Yeah, it can go down the line safely, but does it have all the ADA requirements? Because they're customers too. And if you are sight challenged, hearing challenged, when you want to be able to hear the message to say this is the stop I'm at, right? So getting them to recognize that is important, right? And I think the other thing too is data, right? It's easy to say, okay, here's what our on-time performance is. But tell me where I'm having the issue. Is it this particular part of the route? Is this particular time of day? Is it a particular operator? Is it particular, like, we have to really start peeling back the layer and not just look at that big overall bottom line number, but what are the numbers underneath of it to tell a story? Because maybe it changes how we schedule, where we route the bus, all the things that make up a schedule. And so really, I've been working with the team on trying to, hey, let's do a better job of understanding data and painting a picture of what it is we should work on, so that as we start to say, hey, yes, this is our ultimate goal, but what are these tactics we really need to do to get to this goal? Maybe just saying that stated goal is not enough. There should be, we see here from this data point, it's really this.
Right.
Let's fix that and see what that does. And then maybe then that should translate into a better overall target.
No, I love that, and I love you touching on you being in the restaurant business
Mhm.
early on, being a waiter earlier in my life.
Mhm.
That taught me so much, right?
Right.
And I frequently think about that experience and the things it teaches you. And so, and I think of Patrick Goddard, who's the head of Brightline,
Right.
right? And he came from the hospitality industry, not from the train
Clean.
industry, right?
Right.
And he brings that mentality to that, and it's all about the customer experience. So
Yeah.
I love that, and we totally agree. Obviously, at the
Yeah.
CITT, which is why we're partnering with you
Right.
in the CITT Ambassador Program to have writers of the system pass their observations along to us and to you,
Right.
good, bad, indifferent.
Indifferent. Right.
And that gives you both qualitative and quantitative data that you can then do something with to improve that experience. So
Right.
it's been a great partnership, and thank you for being open to that.
Yeah, no, I think, we have to be, as an organization, you can't run away from feedback.
Yeah.
Right. And because to me, that's what makes you better. Right. You can have people in some spaces that's just what they love to do, is provide sometimes negative feedback, but that's fine. Right. That to me should be just make you better. Right. You should say, hey, what can I do? Right. If we strive for the perfect trip, even if we don't get there, it should be good enough that most people will say, yeah, no, I really enjoyed that experience, right? A lot of times I want to see our transit experience be so good that people just don't comment about it, right?
Mhm.
It becomes the norm.
Yeah.
You don't complain about stuff that you just say, hey,
Mhm.
that's just what I expected. And it's driving the team towards that. But in the meantime, we gotta have a good foundation. Like I was talking about, just building a team, having the resources, giving them the things that they need so that they can, ultimately accomplish that mission. But that feedback helps, right? It should help paint the picture. Am I going in the right direction? Are we doing the right things? Do we need to pivot? And that's the stuff that to me helps to make sure and validate it. And then where things are, hey, this is a fire. This is something we need to solve right away. That feedback helps to say, no, this is urgent. Let's get it fixed because this is impacting multiple people. So it's good. It's good to have that feedback, and I've never been one to shy away from listening to the feedback.
No, you've been great. Thank you.
Yeah.
And by the way, folks, if you're interested in becoming a CITT ambassador, visit our website, miamidade.gov/CITT. You'll find information there. Basically, you ride the system. There's an app in which you input your feedback, and you get points that you can exchange for rewards later on. So please join the CITT Ambassador Program. You'll be helping not only ourselves and the department, but really the experience for all the riders. But getting back for a second to your workforce needs, you are hiring across the board.
We are.
You want to make a pitch to folks who might be interested in joining the department as to, what kind of opportunities are available and why should they join the county?
Yeah, so definitely, starting from bus operators all the way through top parts of our organization, we're looking to bring in people who are going to be leaders, right? For our bus operators, there is a training program. We help teach you, even if you don't have a CDL. You do have to meet some basic requirements as it relates to, passing health exams, and there is a testing requirement. But once you get through those hurdles, we'll help you. We'll help you get your CDL and get you prepared from that perspective. And then our bus operator program really does lead people through the rest of the organization. A lot of our middle manager positions were people who are former bus operators or former maintainers. And so all levels of frontline position we're looking for to bring in to the organization to help us grow. And then again, we have engineering roles, we have planning roles. What else? We have a lot of support functions within the organization, HR functions that are available to help us, sort of move the agency to the next level. So definitely come on board. Like I said, I've been here 9 months. Absolutely am enjoying my experience in terms of being a county employee. I think all the stuff that the county has to offer, the support. I think if there was a thing that I really do appreciate about working in this county is the level of support I feel. Like I feel the employee is important to the county, from how things are communicated, all the way from the mayor down. And if you need something or want something, the county does have a good net of support around you. And so I think it is a good place to work. And I would tell anybody, hey, come to Miami-Dade. Definitely come to the Department of Transportation, Public Works. It's a great organization. To add to that, one of the things, and we want to definitely at the department create a culture that people want to be a part of, and so we initiated a employee survey where we surveyed over 2,600 employees out of about 35, almost 4,000 employees. So we had over 60-something% of our employees we actually surveyed. Had a company come in and help us do that, and you know, we're in the beginning stages of validating all of that data. But from that, we had focus groups from the employees to help us talk through, hey, we want to build this culture. This is our mission and our vision. You know, how do we get there? And using the employees to help us accomplish that, to me, again, is a way you drive it. And so us doing that survey, and you'll see there are going to be a lot of things over the summer that we're going to start implementing from that feedback, so that we can make it a great place to work.
That's great. And by the way, we're part of the county family, and I agree, it's a great place to work. Not only good benefits, good people, but a great culture,
Right.
and a lot of opportunity for growth. So please join the county. If you want to get paid, join DTPW. If you want to volunteer as a CITT ambassador, you can do that as well. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have today. I want to thank you for being a guest. Thank you for everything you do.
I appreciate it.
And thank you for bringing some good luck to our teams. Go Heat.
Go Heat.
Go Panthers. If they lose in the finals, we'll blame Sean as well, but that's not going to happen. We're going to win.
Yes.
Folks, that's all the time we have today. We want to thank our partners in this endeavor, community newspapers, for producing the show. We are here every 2 weeks from 9 to 10 a.m. every other Thursday. So please continue to stay tuned. And again, if you're interested in volunteering with the CITT, either as a transit ambassador or if you wish to join our board of directors, we have several vacancies. Please visit our website to learn more, miamidade.gov/CITT. Thank you and have a great day.